In 1984, a unique nonprofit organization was launched to defend freedom. The Heartland Institute began as the idea of Scott Hodge, who is now president of the Tax Foundation.
Really, the ideas for the Heartland Institute came out of a frustration that a number of us who were politically active in the Libertarian Party had with the political side of the movement. And we really thought there needed to be a legitimate educational organization based in Chicago to teach free market ideas and practical solutions to government problems in that area.
Hodge got the attention of David Padden, a municipal bond leader who was hosting a monthly dinner at Chicago's Union League Club.
Dave Padden said, go off and write a business plan and come back to me. So I did. He made edits, sent me back again. I wrote another business plan, and over the course of time, the idea for the Heartland Institute emerged. Dave asked me to put together a first-year budget for the Heartland Institute, and I came up with some ridiculously lowball number like $17,000 a year, in which the executive director, which would be part-time, would be paid only $9,000 a year. And Dave said, who do you know that would work for $9,000 a year? And I said, I know this guy named Joe Bast.
Joseph Bast was hired in June 1984 as the organization's first executive director.
When I first met Joe, I was just a small child, and he at that time, I think he was about 40 then, which makes him really old now. But Joe was one of these young, crazy libertarians with a big bushy beard that had a real passion for ideas, and he didn't think that anything could stop him. Joe is unflappable, he is pugnacious, he is principled. You can't be in this business for any amount of time and not keep that commitment to freedom that Joe has. But he also believes that we can change the world. And if you don't believe that, you're eventually going to be owned by the establishment, and pretty soon you'll be advocating things that you never believed in.
Heartland grew from an Illinois-specific think tank into a national organization, and soon found its niche as the premier voice of free market research and ideas to the country's elected officials and opinion leaders.
The Heartland Institute is a non-Washington-based national policy group who I think particularly specializes in marketing the message, getting the message out, trying to find creative ways of doing it, and I'd also use the term innovative, experimental.
The Heartland Institute is it's not enough to say that it's a think tank. It is a laboratory of ideas that is totally focused on that sense of individual freedom, but more importantly, the free markets and how we make that work.
The Heartland Institute puts out original research and does serious work, but it also understands that putting out research in a book or a study and putting it in a drawer doesn't accomplish anything.
Heartland was one of the first think tanks to have a website on the internet and now maintains 5 sites. It created a database and search engine called PolicyBot, providing fast and free access to some 23,000 studies and commentaries by free market think tanks. Heartland also invented a new kind of publication, the monthly public policy newspaper, and was soon producing 5 such newspapers with a combined circulation of some 200,000 copies.
Heartland has been very generous in letting staff writers at Americans for Tax Reform, some of our policy people, to write pieces that are directed at state legislators about Cost of Government Day, to help promote the Taxpayer Protection Pledge. One of the ways some state legislators first learn about the Taxpayer Protection Pledge and its power is reading it through Heartland's publications and policy faxes. So anyone who wants to speak to state legislators and get good ideas in front of them should be partnering with Heartland to get their good information out.